But we took too long as a nation to start that conversation on entrepreneurship. What we see as problems, foreigners come and see as business opportunities. That's the mind of an entrepreneur.
There's just so many layers as to why success is a challenge for a lot of young people in Sierra Leone.
Private sector needs to come in, but even private sector and government put together cannot help everyone to gain employment. In as much as the system can take its own fair share of the blame, young people as well should own up to the responsibility. Antonia, nobody no get for can like you destiny and you success pass you.
Welcome to Honestly Speaking, where we have honest conversations about real issues shaping our lives and the world around us. I'm your host, Antonia Howard, and today we're talking about young people. We're talking about youth, success, and opportunity. Africa is brimming with youthful energy, with over 60% of its population being people under the age of 25. In Sierra Leone, over 70% of the population is under the age of 35. About 60% are underemployed or unemployed and don't have access to secure jobs or job opportunities. Yet, there's a saying that if you work hard, you'll make it. But does that really apply to everyone? Can you really succeed or make it if the systems are not designed for you to succeed? So that's what we're discussing today. Today's big question is, can we really make it here? We will make an aya. So to talk about this today, my guest is a phenomenal media personality. She wears many hats. She's an actress slash producer slash director slash entrepreneur slash MC. She's many things. This is no other person than the phenomenal Miss Phebean Swill. Welcome to Honestly Speaking.
Thank you very much, Antonia. It's a pleasure being here. Thanks for inviting me.
My pleasure. So, we able make an ayana this country. Can we really make it here as young people?
So the answer to that question, it's a yes and a no. It depends on the industry you find yourself in. So if you find yourself in politics, yes, you make an aya as a young person. If it's politics, yes. And if it's getting opportunities connected to politicians, giving you those platforms, yes, you make an eye. All you need for do the things you're not supposed to do and that pleases them. Things that you're not supposed to do in the interest of the country, but that pleases them, do them no more, you make an eye. But in certain other industries where, young people need to thrive on their own, take, for example, the creative industry. The creative industry is one globally that creates mass employment opportunities for people, young, old, from all backgrounds, even our counterparts in Africa. They have more opportunities than we do here in Sierra Leone. So yes, you can able to survive in a salon and make them as a young person, depending on the industry. And no, you're not able to survive and make them as a young person, again, depending on the industry that you find yourself in.
So, let me break down what you just talked about. Number one, about politics. Is this why a lot of people see politics as a lucrative industry, if you want to call it an industry?
Yes, it is. Not only because of the power that comes with it, but because of impunity as well. So this we salon where we do so na way, the laws don't seem to work for everyone. The law, it work for certain kinds of people and it doesn't for certain kinds of people. And some of the things we say, Pandentia, people can say, oh, now opinion, our assumption. But the stories we see and hear every day are what we use to arrive at conclusions. So you would find young people, the things you would do if you're not politically connected and not get away with. If I have political backing and connection, I could do them and get away with them. So it's not just the power that comes with it. It's the audacity to get access to impunity, where you can just do as you want, where I can look you in a street, I pack you slap. Then we'll go before back now. You get for call and beg me.
Yes,
You understand? Me will slap you now. You get for beg me. So it's all these things will make politics become very lucrative for Boku young man, young woman. Especially young man them, because again, you get challenged with females, their own involvement, young people. So Bokup and the young man them, you see them from university days, how they become so toxic from their university campuses, how the campus election, university, then they go broke glass and then they get in for stabbing company. Do you know why they're doing this? Now the promises, it's what they see. Because we're all making the judgments we make based off of what we've seen. Then they see and say, now the kind side and this way, people just do things and they get away with it. You know me, I like for be very blunt about things. I'll give you an example. Look, Chief Kadiru Kaikai, young person, he ain't into politics, he belonged to SLPP. When he spoke about war, if they're not making take power, he go bring unrest. And one of the SF, now 3 point something million. The repercussion when in go through, it could not have been the same had it been someone who not been the SLPP or get political backing.
Make that same comparison. There was that same comparison I saw on Facebook between what he said and what Howard Hunt said.
Exactly.
And how Howard Hunt has been treated, and compare that to how he was treated.
And a public apology. So he was invited by the police. For me, it's to show that then do something, okay, not a person a coso, not a one person a threaten, all of us. And the time where that video they go viral, security was more fragile than it is now. It ties to what I was saying earlier. So now because of all the thing,
this way you've framed it, does that mean then there are not enough examples of people who have succeeded in Sierra Leone outside of politics? Because if people then they make this conclusion based on the, let's say, role models they see who are politicians, who have gone into politics and have somehow made it, that means say they're not they see enough people there. And from the other side, people who are not politicians, people who are business people, entrepreneurs, you call it scientists, whatever. They're not they see enough of that example there.
When I started TV broadcasting, I was working for a Nigerian TV station. I left Sierra Leone and went to Nigeria to work with them. It started off as a training and then they just wanted to keep me there. What I was earning back then, I was just a junior staff, was way better than what I was earning in Sierra Leone, where I even reached management level. So even the level of success that people attain in Sierra Leone, it's drastically diluted compared to if they were in other countries.
Is it that our perception of success is somewhat warped? Is not the problem? Maybe we consider success to be something different than what it is, or maybe the success what they see from business people is not a real level of success than they will achieve.
But the baseline for the success that we all, push for, aspire for, is economic independence. That's the baseline. Because there's no way anybody is celebrating your success if what you're doing is not financially rewarding to you and it's not taking care of you. We go clap for you, say you get talent. We would clap for you that you've got a brilliant idea. But if you're not financially rewarding, the success is still get question mark. So that's the baseline for the success rate. It has to be at a point where even if you're not a billionaire, but you can survive, you're able to pay the basic bills, you're able to feed yourself. Like those are the basics, which is lacking for many young people. I'd agree the education is one thing. We took too long to get to this point of talking about entrepreneurship. You would go to the university. I, for one, I became an entrepreneur. It was not something I ever thought would happen. This was because back at Limkokwing University, we did entrepreneurship as a module. It changed my perception. Then I got to understand, oh, wait a minute. Okay, there's something there. But we took too long as a nation to start that conversation on entrepreneurship. We've not been business savvy as a nation. What we see as problems, foreigners come and see as business opportunities. That's the mind of an entrepreneur. I'll give you an example. Olusegun Jaji, Sea Coach Express. He's not a Sierra Leonean. He came to Sierra Leone on the first trip. And according to the story, he realized the challenge of traveling to the airport. Just one airport we get. Getting there from Freetown, you either go drive the long way, we go take you 1 hour plus, close to 2 hours, or you use ferry. And back then, the ferries were very unreliable. Then go get stuck at sea. You miss your flight, nobody's refunding you. They would move not according to the flight schedule. So if you get 3 a.m. flight, you get for cross with 8 p.m. ferry. You spend the rest of those hours either mosquito and they bet you if anyone pub or however people dealt with it. But what we saw as a problem, he saw as a business opportunity. He started Sea Coach. Start and Bibi Guano. It started with some funny looking boats. It's interesting when he shared those pictures of, what those looked like. Fast forward to recent times.
What I'd like to add, he had to have had the capital, number one.
I'll get to that capital. It's first the idea. Because if you don't have the vision, you don't have a plan.
You need to have a problem-solving mentality.
You have to have that. Because if he did not think about the opportunity there, it's when you identify the business opportunity that you think in capital. Because if you don't see that as a business opportunity, there's no way you're thinking about a capital. There are Sierra Leoneans, young people who've got brilliant ideas, but they lack the capital to start those businesses. So some do have access, but there are Sierra Leoneans who all they have is the idea. But the other problem is there are also opportunities, forget about the banks. There are opportunities available online. Antonia Howard Foundation Entrepreneurship. I am a beneficiary in 2019. I am one of 7 Sierra Leoneans that were selected. Many people don't apply for these things. Antonia Howard Foundation Entrepreneurship Program gives you $5,000 grant and training. So because to have the idea and the money is one, but you need the knowledge how that money and that idea can become an operational business and can become sustainable.
But I also want to talk about knowledge in another way, using another angle, because first of all, you forget the knowledge, say something like that, they exist. And you need to have the knowledge of how to apply. There are levels to the knowledge. First of all, you forget knowledge for how to use the internet productively. That's another thing. And there's just so many layers as to why success is a challenge for a lot of young people in Sierra Leone. So what I want to ask is, when you look at the system generally in Sierra Leone, is it designed in a way that makes success easy for the youth population? Does it make it easy for young people?
No, it doesn't, honestly. It doesn't. But the system itself, in as much as the system can take its own fair share of the blame, young people as well should own up to the responsibility. Antonia, nobody no get for can let you destiny and your success pass you. There's no way. Government goes out to get success. Again, it's number game. So they would say we've created this and this job. It's not individual specific. They really don't give two hoots about who it is that benefits really. It's about, okay, there's this opportunity. We've created 5,000 jobs. It's the figures they use to show that they've done something. Your individual success is entirely on you. The knowledge of understanding the resources available online. Boku young man and young woman, we go school, we tech savvy, they don't want to know. The same way where you could go online and type latest news in Nigeria, latest news with Two-Face and Annie Dibia or Natasha, is the same energy you could use to type. Google is your friend. You could type and ask Google questions. Business opportunities available for African entrepreneurs in Sierra Leone. As I say, and so you type on Google, click enter. Let you see almost such results they come for you.
Or funding opportunities or scholarships.
So just ask Google the question. If now scholarships, if you want to learn business, okay, scholarship opportunities available for young Africans to study business. Click enter. The answer comes. But how many young people really do that? How many young people would, sometimes it's not even to just check it. Some people share these things in WhatsApp groups and all. Some are not interested. That's not the link they want to see. Then once see what happen in politics, Uda slap Uda, how APC and SLPP fet, what's going on with the celebrities, how Caudinero and LJ Olonianda, what you gain? I'm not saying you can't spend time doing those things. Myself and a young person, we do those things. You're interested in the gist. But you should be more interested in your success story, your personal achievement. Another problem we have is the work system in Sierra Leone. It needs to be changed so there would be progress. In the diaspora, people they get 1, 2, 3, 4 jobs. Salon, you not get opportunity for get that.
Work ethics.
And
Is
they're
it
not
that the
paying you well.
opportunity? Is it that the opportunity is lacking, or people will not be willing? I had a conversation with someone, and he was saying, I think it's Dama. He's on one of the episodes on the podcast. He was saying there's no reason Sierra Leone does not have a 24-hour supermarket or shop, or there should be no reason. And we had a small banter about it, and I'm like, to run a 24-hour service kind of shop, it means, yes, number one, you need the customers. Number two, you need the staff. Or even if it's not 24 hours, if it's a store that caters to, let's say, the working population, people who work 9 to 5. So let's say it's somewhere that you can go and grab a coffee or a sandwich before you go to work. It means that place has to be open by 7 a.m. For lady shop open 7 o'clock, it means say the staff for don't reach 6 o'clock. Then for later staff reach 6 o'clock, it means say either if it far, if I don't wake 4 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock in the morning. And I'm not saying there are not people in Sierra Leone who do that. I mean, we get Makituma and they wake almost o'clock morning to be in their stores for reaching a market. But how many young people are willing to make that commitment? There was one time I was seeking the services of a makeup artist. I tell the makeup artist, say, the program na television, they start 8 o'clock, which means I have to be well on my way by 7 a.m., which means my makeup should be done by later 6:30, which means you have to be at my house at 5. You know what he say? He said, for the transport. I'm like, okay, so right now with the talk, we're speaking 2 days prior. You not get keke posse we go call, say, can't pick me na so that. I mean, charge me extra. Say, this na odd hour. You know, meet up. And that's money. That's na money go so. You know, meet up just because, I make that commitment for wake 4 o'clock morning or 5 o'clock morning and left and can do in business something that she's skilled at, something that she's doing as a business. So that's the question. How many people are willing to make that commitment? How many people have the work ethic?
We want the success, but we don't want to put in the work. You have a category of those, sadly, then boku. But on the flip side, there are young people who would be willing to make those commitments with businesses. The challenge there is the pay grade. People get paid ridiculous salaries. At the end of the month, you look at certain people and you wonder, how do they survive? Like with the salary, let's begin to check how much you're spending on transportation to and from that work. And if it's not a job that you use a uniform for, even if you want to say, to post, you want to go bluff, but you need 2, 3 clothes where you go to wear for go work, for present yourself decent. Even if you don't want to go on fashion show, that's money spent on it. Your top up, you get for to make phone calls relating to the work. That's the expenses on doing the work.
Yeah.
Check on monthly basis. Then you come to you, because you're working for let you able to sustain yourself. How much do you eat a day financially for feed yourself? How much is your rent annually?
Let alone if you have a family.
This is not just the individual calculation now, not even husband or wife or children.
Yeah.
Just say the individual. How much are you spending on your rent annually? So you can divide that by 12 for no waiting adande monthly. How much are you spending on utilities, electricity, other utilities? So because they're not paying well, what these companies need to do is look at productivity, not attendance. Many of these offices, what they care about is attendance. Now I make some man they go to your office, you use the internet to download film all day missing. Because many of the offices care about attendance. Whereas you find some people are so productive, it go then in us, but it don't contribute more to the company in work that day than some of the one they were in at the office.
But I want us to take a moment. There's a segment on the podcast called Word on the Street, where I go around and just ask random people, questions about what we're discussing in the studio. So I asked people of Freetown whether they think young people can succeed here. Are we able to make an aya? Can we really make it here? That's the question I asked. Hey there. If you want to hear opinions about today's topic, check out the Word on the Street segment on the Honestly Speaking YouTube channel. Real people, real voices, real opinions. You don't want to miss it. You'll find the YouTube link right in the episode description. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe while you're there. Now, let's get back to the conversation in the studio.
I agree with all their submissions. It's true, it's hard to make it here. But also, again, in as much as there are the challenges from the system, government in your part, there are also perception issues with young people. I said earlier that salon people, they will like soft life. Many people here want office jobs. When you really do the calculation, many of them, then they enjoy the profit in that. Profit's not even this safe because you're spending more at the end of the day to get to work every day than you're making. Now the corruption come in, they rely on the corruption side. Thing when they pay you a month down salary for do person can we no need for pay you get for ask scam if for tip you for and the tip now by force power them for tip you because they do it in such a way that I not ask you for bribe but make a joke corruption. But people don't understand that true financial independence either comes from when you really have those really good jobs that the pay is crazy, or you're doing your own business. Look, some people who work at some banks. When some bankers tell you almost then they pay them. So now follow you wear coat and tie no more they pass all they let them say banker legal. Now I know so. What do you gain? We're not thinking businesses. And business is the way to go, which is why I said earlier that we delay for begin talk about entrepreneurship. Because that's really where you make it. No sign other in the world where government provide employment for everybody. Private sector needs to come in. But even private sector and government put together cannot help everyone to gain employment. The more entrepreneurs we have, even if your business is on a small scale, at least you have created employment for yourself, you the owner of the business. And the people you do business with, even if you not get staff then where you hire, it's employment. You dey patronize them business. Because if it's a product you're doing, you need raw material, you're patronizing those people. If it's a service you're rendering, not be you want no more go just do them. Even then contractors then get them people where they do labor. So the more people come into entrepreneurship, the better it would be economically for them and other people around. But this thing where all man want go find job, people they see skills na salon like say na for dropouts, you craze. Because skills, Antonia, I make more money off of my skills than what I study in a university. When I'm hosting events, na me skill and they are they use to do it. When I am acting movies, na skill are they use for do am. I make more money off of those things than I do for what I go study in a university.
Is it because they don't see their perception of success in some of these people who do these skilled jobs? What I mean by that is when you go outside of Sierra Leone, where you interact with Uber driver, they can interact with you properly, even if you don't meet person way na carpenter, someone who does creative designs or whatever. They always present themselves well, and perhaps that could be why Boku young people they see dancing and they as out of the way, or they don't want to be like a carpenter, they don't want to be like a driver, because when they see what a driver looks like in Sierra Leone, it doesn't represent their idea of success.
That does have a contribution to it, because sometime, I think by the end of last year, I had a conversation with someone who was talking about farmers. How come you're picking and say, I'll be farmer? How many billboards do you see around of successful farmers that make it look to people that every field of labor that people go and genuinely with dignity earn their living is worthy of respect, admiration, and celebration? We don't put it like that.
Or even teachers, because kids see teachers every day. They see their teachers every day. But if you ask 10 picking they're waiting they want to be, perhaps one would say, I want to be a teacher.
Now we get look at the class.
Yes, so it could be that their perception of success is different from what they see, even if it's a successful teacher. I wanted to be a teacher when I was in primary school because I saw teachers who represented what I thought was success.
That's true. And part of solving the bigger problem we have as a nation, it's having these conversations. So it changes the perception of especially young people to say what you had in mind, that picture of what success is not really 100% reflection of what success really is. Because success is not just about whose field you day in. I'd rather, personally, I would say, if I see a carpenter, a tiler, a masoner who is financially independent and self-sufficient, I would see you as a success than that person where they go work. But all day na get for big letting give money, na get for bigger, na get for trust because you know able to take care of himself. For me, you are a failure. That one way will take care of himself financially without bothering people, seeking corruption. Nine are the success story. So it's about time we get these conversations more often so young people get to understand success not to just we get job, we get where the office get AC, they go there, then they pay you fine way months done, but you did it. No. Success is even a Abacha state. Then one day we sit down where they sell. They are diligently, honestly earning their living. They're able to take care of themselves.
Yes.
They're not going to knock the multiply you, beg you, or go thief you. That is success. Success, na that makitu man we sit down na dof court, it is sell in pepper by cup. Or even where then they put them by place. That is success. Success is that farmer who goes to the farms, produces food that we eat, is taking care of us, but then it's a business in it because the person is financially independent. Let's break down what success is, industry by industry, work by work. So they understand not only where you go study law or medicine or accounting, you're not a successful person. Success is as long as you are able to work, get a decent way of earning your living without being a problem to other people. Naina success.
There's also the other thing that young people should think about is what I think one of the people in the video said. It's saying a contractor. You know, working on a big contractor and he begin and big money. He learned the skill under somebody. Someone trained him. He started as an apprentice. He earned some amount of money. Say that person they were trained and begin getting small responsibility until he became skilled enough to start his own business. But I have the opinion that a lot of people just want to wake up one morning and get there. And it's not 100% their fault. Perhaps they don't see or hear many stories of how people got there. When you talk about Olusegun Jaji, he had a whole life before coming to Sierra Leone and setting up C Coach. For let C Coach become what is. Even me and you seated here, me, I do hairdressing, I do makeup. Anyone who knows me knows say I not just wake no more. I be Antonia Howard. I begin going on television. I make ear. I do makeup. I sing in a band. I was doing so many things just to be independent enough to be where I am. And in fact, I am still doing so many things because people have this perception that to make it is like it's just one step.
It's magic
It's a journey, right? Like it's a journey. Okay, today they begin with this, and then you grow from that, and then you do something else, and then until you eventually get there. But I don't think a lot of people, I don't think people see enough or hear enough stories of maybe the struggles or challenges of successful people.
People not understand, say there's evolution in everything. you don't just become. There's a process of becoming. But I would not agree that it's the lack of or the absence of success stories. They are there. I think it's just patience, lack of patience for these people. And you know what they say, we punkino strong it say one rep. We tend to do that. Apprenticeship is something. I think it was today I was telling someone that the Phebean Swill way people they admire so today. I am a product of many people's tutoring, mentorship, and grooming. I didn't just wake up and I became. But many of the young people, they're looking for magic. They're desperate for fast success. They don't want to spend time to learn things. That person who has spent 5, 7, 10, 15, 20 years doing something, what in he know? Even if I'm born you, I'm belle you sleep. If he want teach you, he's not going to teach you all those things in 1 year. Success is not waving a magic wand. Success is a process. And they don't want to understand this. But they just want to arrive. It's not like that to arrive one day. They don't want to spend time to learn things. Medicine, where you go study now 7 years, and then they do. Well, you know, go spend 3 years, you say they can't get the same thing. The one day they go study law, now 4 years, forget the degree. There is no way they do 2 years, you say.
And even after the 4 years, you go law school,
Exactly.
you do pupillage, if that's what they call it.
Forget degree, bachelor's degree, now 4 years. If now 1 year you want to spend a certificate, it's not equivalent to diploma and degree. If now 2 years you spend a diploma, it's not equivalent to degree, master's, and PhD. So it's just what it is. It's an investment. That person who has spent 5, 7, 10, 15, 20 years doing something, what in he know? Even if I'm born you, I'm belle you sleep. If he want teach you, he's not going to teach you all those things in 1 year.
Exactly.
It takes time
It doesn't
because
work.
even the
It doesn't
person
work.
who's also grooming you, itself they learn every day. So if you spend 1 year learning something you were meant to spend a minimum of 4 years learning, now 1 year worth of experience now you go get. So you find yourself making a fool of yourself in the rest of the things you would be doing just because you were not humble and patient enough to spend the number of time you need to spend learning what you need to learn. Even the one day they go do catering, you not just they go today, you spend 1 week, 1 month and say graduate. Even the makeup courses, you go see before they start and they tell you, some man go tell you now 1 week, 2 weeks, but you know go say now 1 day. Me now 1 day they can't spend till you have for them learn all thing.
Even after you finish that 1 week or 2 week course, you're not going to be as great as the person we don't learn am for 15 years.
Exactly.
The question I asked is, can we really make it here as young people? Can we make it in Sierra Leone? But I want to end with, what do young people need to do or know? If you were to give advice, what do young people need to know or do in order to make it in Sierra Leone? Because the truth of the matter is, it's hard. It's hard everywhere. We have some unique situations in Sierra Leone. We're unique to we. Now we don't struggle, Dandy. But generally speaking, it's hard everywhere, right?
Yeah.
All places then get their own different challenges. So for our context here in Sierra Leone, what do young people need to do in order to make it?
First of all, as a young person, to make it in Sierra Leone, you therefore be determined and serious for serious. Don't expect anybody, your relatives, your parents, don't expect government or anybody to take your life, your success, more important than you. Nobody can told you matter and aid, pass you again, you matter. Just learn a skill. And the thing about skills, it stays with you, even if you travel out of Sierra Leone. I know one day a person say, me, I dey make too much money in my life. I want stop for make money. One day I know a person talk. Learn as many things as you can. You would enjoy the soft life. Put in the work first. Make the money. Where the money come, brother, sister, you want for the go Paris and back on vacation? Well done. But the first thing what you do, begin to work on your financial independence. Redefine what success is. Success is not based off of the industry you're working. Success is based off of how independent you are financially. That's what being successful is. No, put that ego by yourself. And I like the way the world is changing. Look at even designers who they celebrate now in Barcelona, Africa, and the world. Way you will not get designer. You say all man are tailor. Now you know say na designer them.
Yes.
There are people, look them, Mira's designs, able, late only even self been there into designing. We have many of those people. So it really, and how, again, another important thing you have to have in mind, how you respect that source of your income defines everything. Because how you present yourself, now go make people see you, you are exceptional. Look, this lady, slave farmer. It makes farming become so attractive to young people. A young graduate, born a farmer, look at that lady who been graduate IPAM, Zainab, when a carpentry go do. A graduate can different in the end up go learn carpentry. They do carpenter work. Work on your financial independence. Now so you go survive as a young person as alone. Not rely on anybody.
How we approach our skills, how we approach anything we want to do can help us make it more productive or more lucrative. So thank you very much, Miss Phebean Swill, for your contribution today. And to you watching or listening, this has been Honestly Speaking, and we're recording at Black Lion Production Studio. Don't forget to share this episode, share with your friends, your family, continue the conversation, have those honest conversations, be truthful about what the issues are and what you think would be probable solutions. I have been your host. I am Antonia Howard. Until next time, take care. That's it for today's episode of Honestly Speaking. Thank you for listening and being a part of these important conversations. If you've enjoyed today's discussion, please like and share. And if you're feeling inspired, do leave a review. I'd love to hear what you think. And of course, carry on the conversation online. Share your thoughts, experiences, and ideas using #HonestlySpeakingSL. Until next time, stay curious, stay engaged, and stay honest.